Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Board Meeting Recap with Chris Adsett. Today, I'm going to give you a summary from my perspective on the meeting at Arrowhead on Wednesday night, August 13th. Now, I put these 5 to 10 minute videos together for you so that you can have connection to the district and understand what has been going on and what has the board been taking action on. We started off with a summary from a July 22nd facility workshop meeting that we had. This was done for the public's benefit so they could hear what was discussed and talk about at that meeting. Then we went right into committee reports and started with building and grounds. Lots going on with building. First, the board unanimously voted to approve the Lake Country Swim team's contract with the school. They rent out space in the pool. The board unanimously supported that. And then we went right into what's the pool situation. If you watched my last update from our workshop, I gave a summary of a challenge that we were facing with a blown out condenser that if we fixed, there was no guarantee it was going to work. Well, the good news is we were able to get a guarantee that it will work for a year with a warranty. Now, the cost is $80,000 to fix it. Now, let me tell you why the board approved it, and again, my perspective. The cost to transport our young boys and girls to another facility, rent that facility, plus combined with the lost revenue from the Lake Country Swim team, met or exceeded the potential cost to repair the system, which means if it works for at least a year, we're at a wash. Every year thereafter it continues to work, we're in the black. So it did make good fiscal sense to approve it. So again, the board voted unanimously to keep the pool open. I was afraid it was going to close. So that was good news. So we'll be able to continue to serve our community with our pool. And then we also approved a 10-year facility plan that outlines the different needs for maintenance in our district. So that was great. Again, that proved unanimously. Then we went into donations, and I have to tell you, I'm so thrilled to be part of this community. The businesses and the people are so generous for our schools, and thank you. So I'm going to read off the names of the people that did provide donations for us. First is the Eaton Corporation. They donated to the Technology and Engineering Partnership Program, $7,500. Very nice, thank you. Mark G. Sellers Foundation, they also donated to the Technology and Engineering Program, $20,000. Wow, thank you very much. And then Generac Foundation for our wind ensemble donated another $250. So thank you for your generosity in supporting us. We had a curriculum committee report. Again, if you watched my last video, not much different from there. It was more committee update. There was no board action needed or taken this evening for curriculum. Our personnel and legislation committee report, again, same thing from the last video. No board action taken at this time, nothing needed. Then we went into the policy committee. Now, this one had some action in there tonight. The first one was on privacy. There was a policy presented for privacy in intimate spaces. The number is 5518. And what this policy was that was proposed is that students would have to use bathrooms as designated by their biological sex. And this also stems from an executive order from President Trump. And the good news is the board unanimously supported adoption of this new updated policy. So I'm very happy about that. Then we talked a little bit briefly about personal devices, cell phones, iPods, and such. In my last video, again, I gave you the overview of what was being discussed about a potential bell-to-bell free policy. That's going to be continued to be discussed and worked through in policy. No board action was taken. And then there's also a future coming curriculum review policy that may be updated as well. I talked about that in the last video. And that again just gives us as board members a little more time to review curriculum when it comes to approving it for the administration. Then we also covered next week on the 21st, the evening, Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. at Arrowhead, there will be a district-wide assembly meeting. So the feeder schools and Arrowhead, including superintendents, are all invited to come together to discuss working together. And the 4 things on the agenda are talking through consolidation considerations, talking through inviting our legislators to meet with us collectively, where we have a stronger voice if we're all working together. I just mentioned cell phone policies. Maybe we can get a district-wide effort to unify a cell phone and personal device policy. So that'll be talked about. And then also a proposal for possibly sharing a service for a marketing position for someone that can help with district-wide objectives and getting that messaging from the schools out to you, out to the community. Sometimes, unless you're connected to the school with a child, you don't understand what's happening, some of the challenges we have, and some of the successes we have. So there's also going to be consideration and conversation there. And then a couple of last things that were actionable. The board unanimously approved a new student handbook. The board unanimously approved a parent athletics co-curricular code of conduct workbook. And then we talked through our meeting schedule for the next year. For those of you who don't know, we have different committees. So policy, legislation, the ones that I mentioned earlier, those are going to continue in the upcoming year at 6:45 in the morning. Now, they will be on different days. So if you want to attend those, they are available for the public, but these are what are called working sessions for the board to break down different things in committee and then bring recommendations to the board meeting like I'm giving you this evening. So if this helps, please give me a thumbs up, a like, or a share. Otherwise, if you have any questions, if there's anything different I can provide for you in the future, please reach out to me by my school email address, and I'll be happy to reply and hopefully accommodate your request. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support for Arrowhead. May God bless you and our entire community. We are so lucky to be here.